Prynhawn da, croeso I Coleg Cambria. Good afternoon and welcome to Coleg Cambria. So firstly, a little bit about myself. My name's Alex Evans. I'm the Curriculum Director for the Advanced Engineering Department over at Deeside Coleg Cambria. And the areas I look after are typically our level 3 all the way through to level 6 qualifications. So that's level 3 BTech, HNCs, foundation degrees, all the way to bachelor's in engineering now. So before I go into any further details about our courses, I'd first just like to show you a short video about our advanced engineering department.
Your tomorrow waits for you inside these open doors. Doors that are wide open, full of technology and experience. We won't just give you the tools, but the skills and opportunities to connect you with your potential, to connect you to your future in engineering. Innovation isn't just in the classroom, it's inside of you. Solve your biggest unsolved dreams. The next life-changing solution could be in the palm of your hands. Inspiring engineering innovations through outstanding teaching and support. Pushing you to achieve your full potential. This wide world strives for the enthusiastic engineer in you. Start the motions of your success today. We are Coleg Cambria.
Okay, thanks for watching that. So that's a really good insight into some of the engineering facilities at Coleg Cambria at Deeside and at Bersham Road. And that's just a first point to make to everyone watching today, that there are two main sites that deliver engineering for Coleg Cambria. So that's the Bersham Road site over in Wrexham and also the engineering site over at Deeside. Okay, so what I'd like to do is just to go through some of the main programs in my area and just give a little bit more information if I can. And afterwards will be a chance for any Q&A. Hopefully you've got some questions which I can answer. So the engineering department starts off at level 1 as such, goes up to level 2, and that's under another curriculum director, but the areas that I'm going to talk about today are level 3 engineering programs and above, predominantly level 3, and then how it links into our sort of higher level programs. Now, first and foremost, the predominant aim, and it's certainly why one of the reasons I come to work and I do the job I do, is that the level 3 programs are aimed at getting people into employment or to progress you onto a higher education program in the field of engineering. Something I'm passionate about. It's something that the department as a whole are really passionate about. And our programs typically are made up of 2 main level 3 programs. So the first one is a level 3 diploma in engineering. So on the website, that would go under a course code of LP00250. The purpose of this program is to give everyone that's on it some basic understanding of the fundamentals of engineering. Now, the program is sort of split into 2 avenues, a practical based section of the program and a theoretical side. Now, the practical section, you complete a qualification called a level 2 performing engineering operations, NVQ. So that's a practical based qualification, and that will be in subjects such as CAD, 3D printing, hand skills as well, such as your bench fitting, and other similar ones as well. And other departments also do programs such as welding, motor vehicle, and so on, which all comes under the banner of engineering and motor vehicle. The other half of the program is level 3, a BTech qualification. So that BTech qualification gets that sort of fundamental theoretical knowledge in a classroom environment to you guys. So you've got both avenues as such to give you a good overall general understanding of engineering. Just a point about the BTech qualification as well. We do like to stay sort of ahead of the curve at the college here, and we're actually changing our qualification, our BTech this year. So it's going to be now the latest industry spec BTech qualification. So that's aimed predominantly towards people that are looking to move into industry or onto higher education as well. Has some of the latest units, such as CAD-CAM, 3D printing, so that's additive layer manufacture, and some others amongst that as well. I mean, one of the questions I think that's important for me to ask before I'm asked it, is why come to College Cambria? We are the best college by miles in this area for sure, and especially delivering the sort of breadth of qualification we do. The facilities we've got here are excellent. We've actually got a brand new building known as the Innovation Centre. We've actually had a delivery of a brand new CNC machine today. Such is the way we're going. Our investment in equipment here is really important to make sure that the qualifications that we deliver are the right qualifications for people that are going into industry ultimately. The tutors that are on board with you here and will actually be teaching you, the majority of tutors here, if not all actually in my department, will come from an engineering background. Many of them have been apprentices themselves in the past, so they do understand where you guys are at the minute and what you need to do to succeed and the sort of skills that they need to embed in you. Some of the softer skills, such as, how to handle yourself at interview, how to present yourself, and so on. And just the general behaviours that are important to employers these days. In terms of that level 3 diploma in engineering qualification, that's a 3 days per week a course, and that's run over 1 year. Now, there is potential for that to go into a second year, but I'll come on to that in a little bit. Our other main programme, and it's definitely one of our most popular programmes, is our level 3 enhanced engineering programme. Now, the course code for that program is LP01061, if you'd like to see it on the website. That program is in essence exactly the same as the one that I've just discussed, but there are additionalities to that, so there's extra content. So the extra content, first and foremost, there's an additional BTech unit on that, and that's looking at industrial robotics. So robotics and automation is an area in engineering where many factories are going, and it's something that's really important moving forward for all young people that are going into engineering. So that is going to be an additional unit on the BTech. We've invested in quite a substantial number of KUKA robotic equipment, including a very large industrial robot and some training robots, to get you guys some practical hand skills of actually working with robots, looking at how to program them, and so on. And obviously overriding all of this is how to operate equipment safely, which is really, really important, obviously. The other main addition to this program is that there's up to 5 weeks work experience built into that program. So we work with a number of partner employers, and these employers are good enough to offer work experience placements locally to Deeside and to Wrexham, to give you guys some valuable experience of actually what it's like to be an engineer, which is really important. Conscious that a lot of younger people that maybe are thinking about this course may not quite know what they want to do yet or where they want to go. You might not even know what engineering is exactly. So it's my job to try and give you a better understanding of that. Predominantly what we do at the college, but then also in addition to that, what our partners can offer you in terms of work experience, and you can experience it firsthand then, and hopefully, make a good decision that engineering is for you, it does interest you, and it's a career that you do want to progress in. So because of the additionalities of this program, and there are some extra bits again as well, this program is 5 days per week. So it's a full-time program, Monday to Friday, and that's again over 1 year. Okay, so I mentioned that this leads potentially onto a second year of this program. So after year 1, you will come out with your MBQ PEO level 2 qualification, and you'll come out with your level 3 BTech and a couple of smaller qualifications as well. The year 2 program will take what you've already learned on BTech and will expand on that further, and you'll actually come out with an extended diploma. Now, that's an excellent qualification, and the key point with that is it's equivalent to 3 A levels, and will get you into university to do engineering. I've got a number of learners this year. I think approximately 12 out of 14 who completed the extended diploma have gone on to their choice of university this year to study engineering, and I'm pretty confident that those guys are going to have a really successful career, whichever field of engineering they go into moving forward. Okay, so the important points now, it's around about results day now, so I'm sure a lot of you are quite nervous. Try not to be nervous. We've all been there. We understand the pressures and the worries, but But I think the key message for me is, no matter what your results, please do come and see us, come and chat to us, and we'll advise of the best pathway to put you guys on to get you where you want to be moving forward. So the entry requirements for both of these courses are typically 5 GCSEs, A star to C grade. Now that must include English language and maths as well. Now the LP 00250 course, so that's the level 3 diploma, the first course that I went through, which has slightly less content. We are a little bit more flexible with regards to entry qualifications. So if you scraped it very, very close on your English result, for example, and you got a D and just missed out on a C grade, the likelihood is we may accept you onto that program as well. So, if the results quite haven't gone your way, please just get in touch with us and we can advise. And the likelihood is we may be able to still put you on that level 3 program as well. A key point about that is that if you don't achieve an English grade of C, then we'd like you to resit that qualification here with us as well. So that will be inbuilt in your program too. Because I think for those that really want an engineering career, it's really, really important that you have C grades in English and maths. They're the two of the biggest and most importantly looked at GCSEs when people are reviewing your application. So we really want to help you to achieve those. Okay, so in the video you hopefully saw quite a substantial amount of apprentices there. So many with workwear on, like I've got my College Cambria workwear on today. But we work with a number of employers, an extremely large number of companies, probably sort of 100 companies upwards. You wouldn't even believe there was that many in the area, but there definitely is. The majority of these, if not all of these companies, do take on apprentices and do work with us to actively recruit apprentices. So we are sort of quite heavily involved in that. In fact, many of these companies use us solely to advertise their jobs. So naturally, if you're going to be on a qualification with us here, you're going to hear about these jobs first and foremost. So, it does put you at a bit of an advantage for sure to be with us. I think an important point to address, we're all living in sort of very difficult times at the minute with regards to COVID. And I think it's important for me to say, please don't be put off and automatically assume that the number of apprenticeships are going to diminish. Okay, there are many companies still taking on a vast number of apprentices and will be moving forward, because at the end of the day, young people are the future of their business and they want to train these guys up. So please don't let the COVID situation put you off in terms of looking into a career in engineering, because there are most certainly plenty of opportunities left. I think an important point that I need to make is that, as well as the extended diploma guys that go on to university, most of the people that are actually on our level 3 programs don't actually come back to us to do that second year. Now, there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, those learners either wish to go on to university, and that's their preferred pathway. So that's great. But most people actually end up getting an apprenticeship with one of our employers. Okay, and they actually come back to us, but they come back to us as an employed apprentice, sort of coming back to college and getting paid for it. So I'm sure you'll agree that's pretty good. Okay, so the work experience as well, as I mentioned before, it's just a reminder, really, it's a great opportunity for you to find out whether engineering's for you or not. If you decide engineering isn't for you, it's always great to get the qualification behind you for starters, and then we can help direct you to other areas. But my aim as an ex-engineer is, and looking after this department, is to really push you guys to be successful in engineering, and that's what I'm aiming to do. So in terms of completing the level 3 programs, so you'll obviously complete after 1 year. A key point for companies that take on, and the reason why we not lose so many, we get so many so many learners back as apprentices, is because by completing one of our level 3 courses, you've actually achieved most of the requirements for your first year of apprenticeship. So a lot of companies will actually take you on directly as a second year apprentice. So the work you've done at college for that year is vital, and it's used and recognised by the apprenticeship awarding bodies as well. So everything we do is very, very closely linked with regards to progressing learners to employment, and also progressing learners to sort of higher levels of studies as well. I think it would probably be a good time to say that as a case study, if I was to give you a case study, one of them would actually probably be me. So I'm an ex-apprentice with one of our local aeronautical companies, which we do work with still. So I completed my apprenticeship, did 3 years. I then actually did another apprenticeship with the same company and came out as a professional engineer with a massive amount of qualifications behind me. Do I regret that decision? Absolutely not. I'd actually wished I'd have done it earlier. I was actually an older apprentice. I was 24. But it just goes to show that, you know, if you're a little bit older, even if you're 21, 22, and you think you've missed your opportunity, absolutely not. I see apprentices now in the 30s, 40s now, believe it or not, that are after a bit of a career change and so on, which is really great and always enthuses me to see these guys and to see the commitment that they've got to do that as well. But it's a career that was really good, and ultimately I've ended up back where I started, which was in education, to try and give back to you guys. So you never know, some of you that actually complete this course might end up in charge of the department in so many years. You never know. Never discount anything. Okay, so I mentioned that part of my remit is actually, a very large part, is actually looking at our higher programs within the department. Now, when I say higher programs, I'm referring to programs that are level 4 and upwards. So for those not in the know, university level courses are typically levels 4, 5, and 6. So that will give you what's known as a bachelor's degree, whether that's in engineering or in science. We do 3 distinct programs at D-side here, specifically for higher level programs. So the first of those programs is a level 4 HNC. So that's a higher national certificate. Now we do 2 programs, one in mechanical engineering and one in electrical and electronic engineering. We work with Glyndŵr University on that one, but obviously we deliver these courses here in the facility that I'm sitting in now, which I'll tell you a little bit more about shortly. Then our other 2 programs are both run in collaboration with Swansea University. So that's a level 4 to 5 foundation degree. Now the programs we have for that are in advanced manufacturing and in aerospace. And then that leads to a level 6 bachelor's of engineering qualification in advanced manufacturing or aerospace. So the same pathways. So what I'm basically saying is you can start off with a level 3 or less, actually, level 1 potentially qualification in engineering at the college here. And in a number of years, you can work your way up, staying where you live locally, not having the vast amount of student debt that's associated normally, and come out with a bachelor's of engineering degree through what I need to add is a fantastic university. So as I say, we work with Glyndŵr. We also work with Swansea. Now Swansea University down in South Wales are the largest engineering university in Wales and are very, very highly ranked, and they're number 1 for engineering in Wales, which is great. And I do visit Swansea as part of our collaboration frequently. Some of their lecturers do actually come up to College Cambria to deliver on the course as well. Now, in terms of how you guys would progress to these qualifications are usually done, or usually completed by employed apprentices. And the best bit about this is that they're usually funded in some way, whether that's by the company that you work for or we find another way to fund things. So potentially you could come to college next year on a level 3 diploma in engineering. The next year you could be working for as an apprentice for one of our local engineering companies, and they could put you through the remainder of your BTech national diploma, for example, then perhaps progress you onto a HNC, and then perhaps progress you on to a BEng. Really, the sky's the limit, and you've got fantastic opportunities now in the local area to achieve these sorts of levels of qualifications through what is, as I said before, a fantastic university as well. The facilities, I said I was going to discuss that briefly. So I'm actually sitting in our fairly new, what's known as our Engineering University Centre. So this is a custom-built facility we had built approximately 4 or 5 years ago now. And again, it was in collaboration with our partnership universities in terms of the equipment that we've got on site here. And also the facilities is in, we've got 2 CAD cam rooms, for example. We've got a robotics room, a PLCs room, and so on. It really is an excellent facility. And for the learners that come here on a level 3 program, you will probably come here a smaller amount. But I think for something to aspire to, it's good to aspire to get into here on a more permanent basis when you're an employed apprentice coming back on your day release program to complete your higher level qualifications. Okay, so with regards to qualifications, that's a sort of overview from me. I think if anyone requires any more information, please do go to www.cambria.ac.uk and please use the search function as well. If you put in FDeng, HNC, BEng, or level 3 diploma, or filter through by subjects, and you'll get to these courses again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some questions from you. So whatever platform you're using on social media, please feel free to ask me some questions. Just whilst I'm waiting for any to come in, a couple of questions that I've sort of had given to me previously, I thought it's good to go through those first. Firstly, the first question is, I haven't heard about my interview yet. Does this mean I'm not being accepted onto my course? Okay, so obviously the COVID situation has changed how we're operating slightly with regards to interviews, but we're currently working through interviews as people apply, and you will be contacted shortly with regards to interviews. So please don't panic. If you're really unsure, please email studentservices@cambria.ac.uk and then they should be able to give you a bit more guidance, hopefully. Another question is, will there be a new student day? Again, with regards to what's happening with COVID, this is a pretty important question. Usually we get learners in on day one and we give you a good tour around the place and tell you about how you're going to be learning and the facilities at the college. So will there be a new student day? Not at present because of the COVID situation, but please keep checking our website for updates on that, because the situation is changing very quickly. Government advice is changing very quickly, and we may potentially be in a position where that U-turn. So please just keep your eyes on the website. Okay, so I'll move now to any more live questions, if there are any. Okay, so I've got a question. Thank you, Owen, for your question. So what careers can I go into after completing this course? Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we work with a massive amount of employers in engineering. Now, the range of engineering is very vast, as I'm sure you can imagine, but a lot of the companies we work with veer towards your maintenance engineering, design engineering, even production, manufacturing engineering. So you could be working in a factory designing, for example, the latest aircraft wings. You could be in a factory performing live maintenance on electrical or mechanical equipment. So a vast number of our learners go on to do these roles, and they're very handsomely paid as well, for sure. I'm sure for those that are still living at home, your parents would definitely be asking for keep or a little bit more keep if you got one of these roles. There are many different avenues of engineering. Telecommunications is another one. We work with the Ministry of Defence company as well. We work with lift companies too that go out to service lifts. So really, it depends where your interests lie and what you're looking to apply for. And as long as you keep your eye on our job shop, because we do have a job shop at the college where all these vacancies go, then we'll filter these through to you as well. But if you've got any questions, go to the job shop, ask the guys there. They can get in touch with the companies as well. Okay, so I'll just hold on for a sec if there's any more questions. Okay, I don't think we've got any other live questions so far. Just a couple of points from me, really. Firstly, thanks very much for coming along. It's a little bit daunting for me. It's the first time I've done one of these, but hopefully it's very useful to you guys that are listening. If you need to apply, or if you'd like to apply, please remember that you need to do so on the college website. So go to www.cambria.ac.uk and go to the relevant section. There will be a sort of button that says apply now. Please click on that and please enter your details accordingly. The process from there will be that someone from the college will pick that application up and get back to you for your interview to bring you in. Or even do it remotely now to just make sure that you're aware what you're applying for and talk about your grades and so on. But that's nothing to worry about for sure. Alternatively, as I've mentioned previous, just remember you can also email student services. So that's studentservices@cambria.ac.uk for any further information you require. Okay, so that's it from me today. So diolch yn fawr am wylio. So thank you very much for watching.